Bobby Manning here. Welcome to a practice edition of the Garden Report. From home, we were at practice earlier today. You can get all the press conferences from Joe Mazzulla, Derek White, as well as Malcolm Brogdon talking after the first session that the team has gone through in a while. Went out west for 6 games, got a practice in before the Warriors game, but over the last month or so, given the schedule, that's about all they've been able to do in terms of taking a breath, going over details, working on the offense, and they needed it. Losing 4 of the last 5 games, a sweep at the hands of the Magic in a mini series, and you look at the offense now over this stretch, it is dead last in the NBA by far, over 4 points per possession behind the 29th team, and the shooting has gone to a scary place, but you start to wonder what's going wrong. Is it just missed shots? Is it regression in the mean in terms of that historic shooting to start the year? You look at the three-point shooting, 40% as a team on 41.5 attempts through December 9th, the day before that Warriors game. Last 5 games, they're down to 28.6%. Few more threes per game, so they're actually taking more, 44 attempts per game through that stretch, which looks like it's been the case. Now, Sunday's loss, early shots in the shot clock actually boded well for Boston. I went and looked. I think they finished 6 for 15 early in the shot clock. I think that's before 15 seconds. So that's not the issue. In fact, the quick shots that they get off into the half court, the open looks, those seem to be working. What the team is lacking right now, particularly as players go cold, Sam Hauser, Derek White, Marcus Smart among them, are the rim looks. And you look at their shots inside 5 feet, right at the rim. To start the year, they were pretty low, 24.3 per game. Not in the range you want to be. Now, you understood it. They're a driving kick team. Much of their paint touches turned into kickouts to the perimeter. What you want to see, though, are threes and layups, and they weren't generating the layups. They weren't creating the dunks. Even the transition runouts that you saw to start the year that were probably bolstering much of those rim looks that they were creating in the half court, they weren't there. So teams started packing the paint, taking that away. I think the Warriors did a great job doing that. Huge reason Jason Tatum struggled in that game. Clippers switching every position took away the ability to attack closeouts or get around screens, all the different things you want to do with the Celtics' advanced screening game. But more than anything else, those rim looks have dropped off. 19.6 attempts per game over the last 5 games is dead last in the NBA. They're only shooting 64% on those two. Started the year 67% inside. And the paint looks have gone way up outside of the restricted zone. So being forced in the floaters, tough mid-range pull-ups. Those aren't technically mid-rangers, but they are jump shots more often than not. 45% from the field on those. Mid-rangers, they're just 40%, taking the same amount that they were earlier in the year. Their efficiency from the corners dropped off from 41% to 28% over this recent stretch, and above the break from 40% to 28%. So the biggest reason we're seeing the struggles right now that we are the missed threes. Once those go in at an average rate, wherever this team's going to settle into, this will be a top 10 offense, given the volume, given the passing, given that everything has pretty much stayed the same when you look at their shot profile. They're actually taking more wide open shots per game from 3. Opens about the same. It's just the percentages have dropped way off. 29% from 3 on wide open threes over the last 5 games here. Turnovers about the same, 13% of their possessions. That's top 10 in the league still. Their assist numbers, potential assists, are pretty much the same, actually a little bit higher. They're passing more, they're driving more in terms of numbers, but it's those rim looks. They're shooting more threes, they're taking fewer shots at the rim, and they can't generate quality looks in there. I thought Smart did a good job with that to start the year. I thought you had Tatum leading the charge there. He obviously misses Sunday's game. And Brown, particularly in transition, big part of what they do there. He's moved more toward the mid-range. I think Smart has started to take more threes, really forcing the issue offensively. And he, as we talked about in the Garden Report on Sunday, since teammates pressing, I've seen him pressing a little bit too, just in terms of trying to get the offense going, taking quick, aggressive shots when he has open space. Somebody's got to get downhill, and that's not really Al Horford's job anymore. They got to integrate Rob better into the offense in terms of getting him quality looks around the rim. That's, I think, the easiest way to generate more looks there, especially efficient ones coming from him. This is what Joe Mazzulla had to say today about that rim rate, which is 25th in the league overall for the season for the Celtics right now.
I think it's part of the drive and kick game, and guys, the first thing people try to do is protect the rim, and so we do have to get out and run harder in early transition to try to generate some of those. But I think we're making the right play at the rim. Our rim read percentage was 75%. So 75% of the time we drove the ball, we made the right play at the rim. And so that means guys are trying to take it away, and we're making the next best read. I think the teams are inching out a little bit, making it an indecision. Do we shoot it or do we pass it? And I think we just have to continue to do a great job, once we get into the paint of making that right read. And so, like I said, 75% rim read percentage is really high, and it's really good. Still think we can get a little bit better at it, but I think we're making the right read when we get into the paint each time.
So he sees them making the good passes out of there. They're not turning the ball over a ton, though I do think that hit them in those Orlando games in particular. This is what I said on the show on Sunday. It's going to be on Tatum to get back to that rim area, establish his dominance there, move the ball out of there, and keep collapsing defenses, and then go into those secondary drives if you're Derek White, if you're Malcolm Brogdon, who said today that, yeah, they probably do need to get more looks at the rim as a team. I think Derek White agreed with that as well. The teams are really packing that paint right now, and that's what you're going to see on Sunday when the Celtics face the Bucks in the Eastern Conference second round rematch, which both teams are going to be looking pretty healthy for, you would think. And then, of course, you have Wednesday's game against the Pacers. Good chance to get back on track. That is not a daunting defense. And then Friday with Minnesota in there. How do you feel about Minnesota? Rudy Gobert is a rim protector. At least that's his job. So he'll make life tougher in there to some degree. Now, that might actually be a bit of a break for the Celtics, the way Minnesota's playing. But right now, you're seeing an offense that doesn't have great flexibility in terms of when the shots aren't falling, where do you go? And we'll see their response in full when the Celtics get back on the court on Wednesday night. We'll have coverage, and old friend not Romeo, old friend Aaron Neesmith is back. Romeo will come later this year. Some thoughts on him from Derek White, from Joe Mazzulla today, who is his personal coach as an assistant here. And we'll have that in our next video here on Celtics All Access. Of course, show our sponsors some love. Calm.com. Get 40% off a premium subscription when you head over there. Sleep sounds, meditation, yoga, and more. Rocket Money is our other sponsor. Looking to pull them up here. You know them, though. Used to be Truebill, rocketmoney.com/garden. Head over there, download the app, and you will potentially save hundreds in unused subscriptions. They'll let you know what you're paying for, what you might have forgotten about, what you could save money on if you do threaten to cancel. That's rocketmoney.com/garden. And Athletic Greens. Love Athletic Greens. Still taking it every morning. 5 free travel packs when you head over to athleticgreens.com/garden. What's in them? It's powder. Pour in your water. Get vitamins, minerals, adaptogens, probiotics, and more. Everything that's good for your body pretty much is in there. Whole food sourced. And you'll also get a year's supply of vitamin D when you head over there. Great reviews. Go check those out as well if you're not buying it from me. And then again, that's athleticgreens.com/garden. Subscribe, Celtics All Access, CLNS Media, and we will see you from TD Garden tomorrow.